Greetings, One Players. Welcome to the third episode of the Legends Club show. This is the episode covering September. We've been away too long. How good, by the way, was Danny Murphy in August? We've got a great guest lined up tonight, and I'm told there's some breaking news. We've got a great guest lined up for October as well. So it's all happening here on One Play Sports on the Legends Club. Now, what is the Legends Club, I hear you say, if you've not been with us for the last two episodes? Well, let me tell you, our good friends at World Football Legends have come up with this great concept, the Legends Club, to keep you in touch with your favourite footballing heroes during these tough COVID times. It's only $15 for a year's membership, and just look at some of the benefits. You can win all expenses paid trips to see EPL games of the Legend, and please to God, we can get back to travel very shortly. But even with travel not on the table for now, we've got 200 member meet and greets lined up with legends as they travel the world, as they often do with World Football Legends, for individual events and some of those great stadium matches that WFL put on. And for now, in the current climate we're in, we're offering home chats with your favourite legends via Zoom. There's 10% discount available from the WFL selected F&B partners, and there's a $10 WFL merchandise gift voucher as well. And as you can see from behind me, the list of partners just keeps growing and growing. We've got some great friends that are buying into this concept. It will take me too long to mention them more than once, but let me get them all out because they deserve it for supporting this Legends Club. And of course, it gives you a chance to get some great member benefits as well. Our friends at Nestia, the Arish Studio 23, up there in Malaysia, Little League Soccer, that great organisation run by Andy and Paul Macefield. That's one of the best youth academies in Southeast Asia. Our friends at Match Attacks, if you like your footballing stickers, you know what Match Attacks is all about. Our dear friends here in Singapore at Muddy Murphy. Star Balm will look after all your sports injuries. The Clubhouse, Zahara, best hummus in Singapore, by the way, at Zahara. Pickerton Express, Expat Living, Le Noir. Now, what about this for a deal? $45 a bucket of 5 beers and a pizza. Count me in. And the Els Club, this is a new one, and we'll talk about this in a bit more detail now. The Els Club in Desaru, which is a fantastic golf course, 2 golf courses, in fact, and there's some fantastic members benefits for you available there. Just 450 RM, 450 ringgit if you want to play as a pair during the week, and only 500 RM if you want to play as a pair during the weekend. It can only be booked online. It's an exclusive rate for WFL, and you have to use the code there, PAIRPROMO20. And speaking of codes, if you're watching this and want to become a member, there's another great advantage for you watching the Legends Club show on One Play Sports, because if you use the promo code ONEPLAY, you get a 10% discount off that already outrageously cheap annual fee of $15. Right, with all the official stuff out of the way, let's start having some fun on the Legends Club show. First of all, can I get to the wall of all our Zoomers and greet them, the people standing by, the WFL Legends Club members waiting to ask our guest a question? They're all standing by, I can assure you. And the person they're going to be asking a question to joins us now live from Essex in England. It is a former England and Newcastle star, Mr. Rob Lee. Rob, great to have you with us. Thanks for finding the time for us this weekend on the Legends Club. How are you getting on there in the UK? Because we hear in the news over the last 48 hours, it seems to be having improved a little. The COVID situation is now getting worse.
Yeah, it was improving. We was looking forward to having a few thousand fans in the grounds, especially in the lower league grounds. But in the last couple of days, last 24, 48 hours, it's been told it's all on hold again, and we're all not actually in lockdown, but we've sort of like we've got restrictions in pubs, restaurants, and bars, and we've seemed to have made a couple of steps forward, and they were making 2 or 3 giant steps backwards now. So it's just a waiting game, unfortunately.
Yeah, I suppose you should be grateful for small mercies. They have got the football back, and even though it's an empty stadium, we have at least got football to watch. What have you made of the first couple of the weeks of the season? I mean, obviously, Thiago came on and terrified the life out of everyone for Liverpool, and he seemed to improve them instantly, improve a team that had already won the title by about 20 points. Are you thinking this is a Liverpool procession again, or do you think there's going to be some twists and turns?
Well, I think it's the Premier League. It's the best league in the world. There'll definitely be twists and turns. But as you say, I think Thiago going to Liverpool, before that, they hadn't made any signings. They had a great team anyway, because they absolutely, won the league so comfortably. But, they didn't need to sign many players. But Thiago going in there, he's a fantastic, talented player. And probably not many players in the world would make their team better, but I certainly believe he would. But you can never rule out Manchester City. I think they're always there with Pep Guardiola in charge. Chelsea, I think Frank's brought some very, very good players. I think once they gel, they'll be up there as well. And Arsenal has started brightly as well, so it's all to play for, really.
Yeah, that's the first mega game of the season, I suppose, the one after Chelsea-Liverpool. Liverpool-Arsenal are on the horizon early next week. Now, listen, Rob, you're a sensible man. You're not one of these pundits that goes over the top and does controversy for the sake of it, but please help me here, because for some reason, Singapore is a hotbed of Tottenham fans. They're everywhere. You can't escape them, and I've been having to suffer this nonsense for the last 72 hours. Gareth Bale this, Gareth Bale that. I think Daniel Levy's lost his mind. I don't think this guy's going to be fit enough or motivated enough to start more than 10 Premier League games this season. Now, come on, tell it as it is. Don't soft soap this answer. Can you see any sense in bringing an ageing Gareth Bale, who's played more golf than football in the last year, back to Tottenham as some kind of saviour?
Listen, all I can say, if I was at a football club, one of the big football clubs in England, I would have brought him back. I think if you can get Gareth Bale, as you say, he hasn't played for a long time, but he's a fit guy. I don't care, 31, I played to 40. He'll be a fantastic sign for Spurs, something they've needed. They need someone to help Harry Kane and Son, and I think he'll be a great signing. I'm surprised that nobody else moved for him at the big clubs, because on his day, and I still think he's people going about, I said 31. On his day, he's unstoppable, absolutely unstoppable, and I genuinely hope that he gets fit as quickly as he possibly can, and he starts playing for Spurs, because he'll only improve him.
I think, to be fair, I mean, again, you've done me no favours there, Rob. I thought you were going to help me see reason with these Spurs fans. So you're just going to make them go even more insane here about it and excited. And I do get the excitement with him coming back. But sort of lost sight of in that deal, though, was Sergio Reguilon, the left-back coming in. And I think that's gone under the radar. But he is a youngster. He's only 23, already got a Spanish cap. He could turn out to be a real good signing. And he's not, obviously, with Bale there, he's been able to come in almost unnoticed, so there's no pressure on him.
Yeah, and I think it'd be good for him because it'll take him. He's very young. He's coming to obviously a totally different country, and it's a totally different league. He's gone from playing for one of the best teams or probably the best team in Spanish football. To no disrespect to playing for Spurs, and it's a tough league. It's games midweek, games Saturday, games midweek, games Saturday, and I think it's good that he's come under the radar. It's good that Gareth Bale's took all the plaudits off him, because he can just come in under the radar and hopefully settle in very quickly. But, I think players come across here and sometimes they find it very, very tough playing the Premier League. It's fast, it's furious, and the games are non-stop. But he's a very, very good player, and they need a left-back. So I'm hopefully he'll do well for Spurs as well. And you never know, if Bale gets... The important thing for them is to get Bale fit as quickly as possible, because that front three is as good as Son, Kane, and Bale. They're as good as anybody. They're as good as Liverpool's front three. So they could be dark horses.
Yeah, I think it's good if you play FIFA on the PlayStation. I'm not entirely sure it's going to convert onto grass, but we'll see. Listen, as you can see, I'm a cynic by nature. I'm not one of these soft soap merchants. Before we take a break and get ready to welcome all the Legends Club members, one question. Come on, Rob. Which team do you think are bang in trouble this year? Which team where the expectations are quite high, and there's a few of them, so they can't all reach where they want to be? Which team are you worried about this season?
Patrick, I'm very, very worried about my hometown team, West Ham. I was born in West Ham. I was a West Ham fan as a boy. I saw them play against Newcastle, and Newcastle comfortably beat them. I just can't see them. I can't see them scoring many goals. I see them letting a lot of goals in, and that is trouble. I feel for them, and there's a lot of goings on about whether Sullivan and goal. The fans are very disgruntled with them in charge still, and will they get sold? Will they get sold out? And the stadium's never been right. It's never been Upton Park, and I hope not. But I just feel this could be the year they get relegated.
Yeah, I think. I mean, again, the trouble when you're talking about relegation every year, you don't have to worry about how bad they are. The question is, are there 3 teams worse than them? And I take your point, that might not be the case. Bizarrely, though, they might be helped, won't they, by closed doors? Because that atmosphere at times last season, before COVID struck, was poisonous, wasn't it? So they arguably, I know Golden Sullivan won't think so because it's costing them a few quid, but in terms of the atmosphere inside the stadium, they might be helped by games being played behind closed doors, mightn't they?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was never a great atmosphere. It certainly wasn't. Anybody who experienced Upton Park, it was an unbelievable atmosphere. The pitch was close to the fans. It was intimidating to play in. And I think people go to the London Stadium at West Ham and they enjoy playing there. And there's not a great atmosphere. The pitch is so far away. But again, it's so. Someone's going to be very, very. I remember playing in games, pre-season games. There's not many fans in it. Sometimes it's very, very difficult to motivate yourself. It's the fans that I love playing in front of. And all the top players love playing in front of fans. And sometimes when they're not there, it's very, very difficult to motivate yourself. So it could work. It could work both ways for West Ham.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I like the old school stadiums. Give me St James's Park, and my favourite one, Goodison Park. Now, Goodison Park must be the most old school football stadium left in the Premier League. And of course, all the fans, because they want to get bigger, are desperate to move out of it. So you want your cake and eat it at the same time. Listen, Rob, great to have you with us. Enough of my questions. I don't know what I'm talking about, but our next guest will. When we come back in just a couple of moments, all the Legends Club members on Zoom standing by, and there's some big Rob Lee fans there waiting for you, Rob, are going to be asking Rob Lee some questions. Yes. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a couple of moments right here on the Legends Club show.
Jerry Armstrong, what a worker he is. Pastendilio. And Armstrong! Northern Ireland have scored through Jerry Armstrong.
Hi, it's Jerry Armstrong, and here's a great chance to follow me with the Legends Club.
Hi, I'm John Beresford, and here's a great chance to follow me with the Legends Club.
This is where memorable evenings are made. This is The Exchange, a versatile metropolitan space for casual meals, intimate groups, and lavish events. This is a heady mix of panache and energy that brings every evening alive. This is where it's always buzzing. This is The Exchange.
Hi everyone, I am Emmanuel Petit. Here's the great chance to follow me on the Legends Club. See you soon and take care. Bye.
Great done by Dwight York. Oh! What a goal!
Hi everyone, this is Dwight York. This is a great chance to catch me with the Legends Club.
You're back with the Legends Club right here on One Play Sports. It's the Legends Club show, and if you're wondering what the Legends Club is, for just $15 a year, you can become a member and just look at some of these great benefits that could be coming your way. 200 member meet and greets in your home country when we bring legends around the continent. Home chats with your legends via Zoom. And of course, that's very relevant now, bearing in mind travel's quite restricted. There's 10% discount on World Football Legends selected F&B outlet partners, many of which you'll be able to see when I come in vision on the screen behind me. There's $10 WFL merchandise gift vouchers as well. And when we can finally travel, and let's hope to goodness it's soon, there's going to be all expenses paid trips to see EPL games with a legend. Who knows? You could be sat at not Upton Park, the London Stadium, or maybe even St James's Park with our legend on the show this September, which is Rob Lee. So it's now the part of the show where we invite all the Legends Club members to come on via Zoom and ask their questions. And if by magic the wall of Zoom should appear behind me now, there it is. Good work. Our technical director, Sam, doing a marvellous job. So I've got some of the questions in advance, not all of them. So we go through the ones I've got. And if anyone else wants to ask a question, please feel free. First up, regular contributor to the show, Ravi Chandran is with us. Ravi, are you there, buddy? Where are you, Rav?
Hi, Rob. How are you?
Ravi, you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Good.
Okay, I got a few questions if I have the time. My first question is probably something a lot of people have asked you. It's about that wonder goal that you scored against Brentford in the season 92-93 from halfway line. I just want to get your honest opinion. What was going through your mind before you actually kicked the ball that sailed over the goalkeeper? And also, would that have been the best goal you have scored if it had not been disallowed?
Well, you know what? I get probably asked more about this non-goal than I do about all my goals I've scored. It's if people don't remember what it was sort of like goalkeeper. I think it was Graham Benster for Brentford came out, kicked the ball past me. I was well inside my own half, and I half volleyed it with my left foot over his head into the net, and it was given offside. Would you believe for a Brentford player? Been in offside position, not a Newcastle player. And it was actually a guy called Joe Allen, who was a big Geordie, who I know very well. So I often, I tell him it was his fault. I would have scored the goal before David Beckham scored his goal. So it was some goal. And I get asked about it so much. You know, and it would have been, without a doubt, it would have been the best goal that I've ever scored. But I feel like I've still scored it because everyone still asks about it. But I still count it anyway.
Definitely. Okay, could I ask you another question?
Yeah, go for it, Ravi.
Ask away.
All right. Okay, my second question is, I know you hold high respects to Kevin Keegan during his time at Newcastle. Just want to know when Kevin Keegan actually left Newcastle, how much was the impact on the players and yourself?
You know what? It's a question I get asked a lot, and it's when Kevin, we just signed. We just missed out on the league, as everybody knows, and we just signed probably the best centre forward in the world at the time in Alan Shearer for 15 million, world record. And we thought, well, this will be our year, and it got to like January, and I think it was in the FA Cup game against Charlton. We drew, and Kevin left totally out of the blue. We didn't have a clue he was going. He'd always sort of threatened to walk out many times when things weren't right, but we never had any idea he was going. As I said, we just signed Alan Shearer. I think he persuaded David Ginola not to go to Barcelona and to stay at Newcastle. So it was a huge blow to us. I mean, I genuinely believe if he hadn't left that season, we would have won something that season. I generally think we'd have won the FA Cup or the league. We was still in Europe as well. We was in all competitions, and I think him leaving, I genuinely feel that him leaving put the club back 10 years, 20 years, and Sir John after that. Sir John Hall and Kevin Keegan were the main people that pushed Newcastle from almost going into the third tier of English football to the tip of the Premier League. And I think certainly when Kevin left, and then not long after Sir John left, I think the club, even now, I think the club's been on a decline. It's never really recovered from Kevin leaving, in my opinion.
Any more questions, Ravi? You got any more questions?
Maybe one. Yes, I have one final one if I could squeeze it in.
Yes, you can, buddy.
During your club career, you have mostly worn jersey number 7. Is there any significance for you to picking number 7?
Yeah, seven. Kevin King was my idol. He was my idol growing up. I used to have pictures of him on my wall. Him, and then after him, it was Kenny Dalglish. I was a West Ham fan, but I was like one of these people that followed teams that done very well. And at the time when I was growing up, Liverpool were the team, and they both wore the number 7. When I was at Charlton Athletic, I was a right winger, so I was automatically given the number 7, which was great. And when I went to Newcastle, I managed to get the number 7 and kept it. Bar won the season under Mr. Hullett. I kept it the whole way. So no, it was a number that's very, very special to me, really.
I see you glossing
Thank
over.
you, Rob.
Thanks, Ravi. I see you gloss over the Ruud Gullit season very quickly. I got to ask you as well, because for a bizarre reason, I was at the 1984, I think it was, FA Youth Cup final. You mentioned Joe Allen. Is Joe Allen the lad with the blonde hair and the big teeth? Am I thinking of the right one? Yeah, and because he was in the Newcastle youth team with Gaza when they won the FA Youth Cup. I remember that now, a long time ago. Anyway,
he was a decent player. Yeah, he went to Brentford. He went to Chelsea, I think, as well. And I still see him every time I go to Newcastle. I still see him. I still give him stick over being offside and ruining my greatest goal ever.
Great stuff. Listen, Rob, many thanks. And thanks to you, Ravi. Jason, are you standing by? Jason Queck, another regular contributor, is with us. Jason, are you there, buddy? Unmute yourself and fire away to Mr. Rob Lee.
Hi, Rob.
Jason, you all right?
Yeah, I'm all right, Rob. I would like to ask you, how was it like playing under John Gregory at Derby County? Because I'm actually a very big Aston Villa fan, and he was the reason I actually supported Aston Villa. So I wanted to know, how was it like playing for John Gregory?
Well, he was the main reason I went to Derby. I was, I'd been at Newcastle for 10 years. I was coming, everybody's got their shelf life. I was 36. But I was prepared to stay for under Bobby Robson. I loved him for another season. And Derby, who was struggling at the bottom of the league, and when they came in, I was sort of like, I'm Newcastle going for Europe. Derby was sort of like struggling at the foot, but it was John Gregory who persuaded me to go. I sometimes people tell me, "Oh, how'd you get on with John Gregory? He's a bit arrogant," and I got on unbelievably well with John Gregory. He was brilliant with me. I loved the way he played football. I loved his training. And he's the main reason I went there. And I went there originally. I mean, West Ham were in for me as well when Derby came, and he was brilliant. He said, "Look, if West Ham come for you, or you want to leave after a year," he said, "Leave." He said, "I'll allow you to leave." But I enjoyed it so much for the season. Although they got relegated, I enjoyed it so much that I stayed for another season. And listen, I had the 18 months, 19 months I was at the Derby. I had a fantastic time there.
Any more questions, Jason?
Yes, one more question, Rob. During 1996, there was a pre-season friendly where Newcastle played against the S-League, Singapore League All-Stars. Did you play during the match as well? Because I watched the match live and it was 5. I remember Newcastle winning easily 5-0 in the match, and David Ginola playing very well, and Alan Shearer just signing for Newcastle. Can you tell me?
I was certainly there because obviously, as I mentioned before, it's when we'd signed Alan, and we'd all so John Hoyd had arranged us all go out to the Far East and to Singapore, and when we went to Japan as well. We had about a 3-week tour of the Far East, and we signed Alan during that time, and he had to fly over on his own. And I can't remember if I was playing in that game, but I played in most of them, so I'd be surprised if I didn't. But yeah, we had a great time. I mean, when you think that was back in 1996, I mean, a lot of the teams go out there, obviously not recently, but they certainly go out there. They go out and visit the Far East a lot now. But I think we were one of the first teams that was out there, and we had a great time out there. And I say, Alan joined us, and we had high expectations of doing well when we in the league. And as I said before, if it wasn't for Keegan leaving by Christmas, I think we would have done really well.
It's amazing. That Newcastle reign of Kevin Keegan, when you, of course, were an integral part with Alan Shearer, is a question constantly of so close but yet so far, almost like you just needed to win one trophy and then the rest would have followed. Jason, you got any more questions, buddy? Or are you out? Let's go back to Jason, actually. Jason, what's that? Is that a Newcastle shirt you've got on your... There it goes. That's what I wanted to see. Look at that. The Rob Lee. Well,
that's under the Rude Hullet days, that is. Yeah, 37, look.
No, you've upset Rob now, Jason. It's the 37 Rude Hullet shirt. How did you get that, Jason? How did you get Rob's shirt?
Well, I actually bought that shirt many years ago, and then I actually printed his name because I used to like players that plays for the club for a very long time, and those long-serving players, I used to collect shirts and keep them. Never expecting one day that I will actually get to speak to Rob in person.
See?
When I borrowed.
The Legends Club making dreams come true. Any other questions, Jason, or are you done? Are you just going to enjoy the rest of the show?
Yes, one last question.
Go on, buddy.
Rob, you actually played under Kevin Keegan before, Kenny Dalglish, Ruud Gullit, and Sir Bobby Robson. Of the four, which is the best one, or the one that you like to play, or which of the four managers was your favorite? Which one was your favorite among the four?
Well, I'll tell you, it was my least favourite was Ruud Gullit, for obvious reasons. Listen, Kevin Keegan was my idol, and I always remember somebody telling me, never meet your idols because they'll you stick them on this pedestal and they'll let you down. And I had this in the back of my mind when I went to meet Kevin. But I met Kevin Keegan, and he was everything that I thought he would be. He was funny, he was charismatic. He persuaded me to sign for Newcastle, and I didn't really want to go that far north. And he's the one that really made me into an international player. So he was by quite a long way my favourite. I think Sir Bobby after that was probably just after Kevin, and Kenny Dalglish. I got on unbelievably well with Kenny as well, although I don't think it was there long enough. He made me. He kept me as captain when he could have easily given it to Alan Shearer. So. Those three, I got on so well with those three. Ruud Gullit, not so much.
Great stuff. Listen, Jason, many thanks indeed, buddy. You stay safe there well during these tough times. Let's go back to the gallery of Legends Club Zoomers. Anyone else want to ask a question to Rob? Have we got any more for any more? Let's have a look at the gallery of Zoom. Let's get some hands up in the air if we can. There we are. Anyone else going to ask a question? Who's that? Who's that in that bottom left there with the rather dashing moustache? Let's get our mustachioed friend on. Who's that, bud? Give us your name and where you're in from. Michael. Hiya, Michael. Good to have you with us. Far away to Rob Lee.
Michael.
Yeah, how you going, Rob?
Good.
Yeah, I just have a quick question. Just want to ask you, what are your best memories at Newcastle United? Can you tell us some of your best memories?
Wow. I was there 10 years. I've got so many fantastic memories. Obviously, starting at the very beginning, the first memory was actually winning the championship at the time, just before the Premier League started. First thing I'd ever won. Actually, was the last thing I ever won. So, which was a bit of a shame. Making my Premier League debut for Newcastle was a great thing. I managed to play for England while I was playing for Newcastle as well. Made my debut against Romania in the playing at Wembley. Played at Wembley at 2 FA Cup finals for Newcastle, an FA Cup semi-final, scored at Wembley. Probably one of the only, not many Newcastle players have scored at Wembley for Newcastle, as I keep getting told. So, being back in Europe with Newcastle, I scored a hat-trick of headers against Antwerp the first time we were back in Europe for 24, 25 years. And just playing with somebody, I had the opportunity to play with some unbelievable players, Alan Shearer, David Ginola, Tino Asprilla. We had. I could go on the list at the time. We used to get anybody who was available, who was really I would class as world-class players. We tried to buy, and I was very lucky that I had the opportunity to play with all these players, and I count myself very, very fortunate for that. So I had 10 great years, 10 brilliant years. I genuinely wish we'd won one of the trophies. As Patrick said, Keegan used to always say it was the hardest trophy to win is the first trophy, and that's what we found. And unfortunately, we ran out of seasons to keep winning stuff.
Yeah, it's such a shame because Alan Shearer, I mean, I watched a lot of him, and then I went to a lot of Blackburn games the year Blackburn won the trophy. The only player I've ever seen that every time he got the ball, no matter where he was on the pitch, you thought he was going to score. It's incredible.
Or shoot.
Yeah. Or shoot, yeah. I'm sure you gave him stick for that. Listen, guys, thanks so much. Apologies if we didn't get to all of your questions, but we are running tight on time. Don't forget, if you want to join the Legends Club, just $15 a year. You could be asking your favourite legend a question. We'll be announcing October's guest in a couple of minutes after we take a quick break and come back with our junior legend. All expenses paid trips to see EPL games. You could be watching one with Rob Lee, all for the price of $15 a year. 200 member meet and greets in your home country across the ASEAN region. There's home chats with legends via Zoom, those discounted F&B outlets that you'll see in the screen behind me, and a $10 WFL merchandise voucher as well. Right, thanks to all our Legends Club members on Zoom. We'll be hearing more from them in the next episode of the show. But when we come back, it's my favourite segment of the show because it's Junior Legend time, when we ask a little person to ask the big legend the tough questions. Stay with us for that on the Legends Club show.
Oh, it could call. Marvellous goal by Keith Gillespie. 4 minutes gone. Second cap tonight for Keith Gillespie, the 19-year-old from Manchester United.
Hi, I'm Keith Gillespie. Here's a great chance to follow me with the Legends Club.
My name is Don Hutchison. Here is a fantastic chance to follow me at the Legends Club.
This is where memorable evenings are made. This is The Exchange. A versatile metropolitan space for casual meals, intimate groups, and lavish events. This is a heady mix of panache and energy that brings every evening alive. This is where it's always buzzing. This is The Exchange.
They were. Here's Webber. Oh, lovely jink from Webber. Great feet from Webber. Webber into the bottom corner. And straight away at the start of this second half, it's Webber that slots it home.
I am Danny Webber. Here's a great chance to follow me with the Legends Club.
Hi everyone, I'm Teddy Sheringham.
Hi, I'm Keith Gillespie.
I am Emmanuel Petit.
Hi, it's Jerry Armstrong.
This is Dwight York.
Hi, I'm Danny Murphy, and now is a great time to follow me at the Legends Club.
Welcome back to the final segment in September's The Legends Club show right here on One Play Sports. And I've got one special guest over in Essex in England on Zoom. That is Newcastle legend Rob Lee. And a very special guest next to me. He is this month's junior legend. And your name, sir, is?
Vivan Lalvani, hello.
And how old are you, Vivan?
I'm 9.
And you're very confident. You're not a shy boy. Is it safe to say that? You're not going to be one of those people that I'm going to have to feed you the questions. You know what you want to ask, Rob, don't you?
Yeah, I know. I am a little nervous because I've never been in an interview before, but yeah.
Well, you're coping with it very well. Say hello to Rob. Rob's over there in England.
Hey, Rob. How you doing?
Vivan, you okay?
So, Vivan, the stage is yours, sir. 3 questions for Rob. Make them good ones. Let's see if you can put our legend to the test.
All right, so My first question is, out of the two players, who would you say is better, Messi or Ronaldo?
That's a good question. It's
Wow.
a debate. It's a debate
Wow,
that's
that's-
split football. I think we know which one he thinks, Rob.
It's given me a huge. That's a huge question. Which one would I have in my team? I would just. This is my opinion. People won't agree that I would go for Ronaldo. I think he's. Although Messi's an unbelievable talented player, I think Ronaldo's tested himself in different countries. He's scored in every single country he's been in. And that's the only thing that I would say is the difference between Ronaldo and Messi. So that's why I would say Ronaldo.
Vivian, is he right or is he wrong? Who would you go for?
I'd say he's wrong because, like, Messi doesn't really need to go to different countries to prove himself. So, yeah, I think he might pick the wrong decision.
Okay, so that's the first one. Question number 2. I like your style.
So, number 2, what would you say is the highlight of your career as a footballer?
Without a doubt, the highlight, I think, of any footballer, if you ask any player from any country, the highlight is playing for your country. I was lucky enough to do that. I did it when I was very late, actually. I didn't make my first team debut for England until I was 28. But I dreamt as a boy growing up. I dreamt of playing for England, playing in the white shirt, 3 lions, and scoring and playing at Wembley. And I was very, very fortunate enough to do it all on the same day. I made my debut in '94 against Romania at Wembley in the white shirt, and I scored. So that, without doubt, is the biggest highlight of my career.
Okay.
All right, so my last question is, if you were to sign one player, past, present, who, like, at their peak, any player, who would it be?
That's another good question. It's better than mine.
That's a great question, by the way. Wow, I'll probably name some players here you've never even heard of, but I think, because of my age, I think Pele. I would love to have seen Pele play in the Premier League. As I say, because of my age, I'm in my early 50s now. He was growing up in the 70s. He was the top player, the youngest player to play in the World Cup at the time. Great Brazil team. But I think in those days, not many of them come over to England, and not many of us saw him play apart from on the TV. So yeah, he was a player that I would love to have seen play live, and a player that I think even sort of like with the way that England is, a Premier League is, fast and quick. I still think he'd have been an unbelievably talented player. I'd love to have seen him play in England.
You know who Pele is, right?
They call him the king of football.
Yeah, he was. What's your answer to that question then?
Honestly, I'd say Messi because, like,
it's all about Messi with you, isn't it?
Yeah, he's my idol. I just really want to meet him. So.
But would you hold on a second? I'm going to ask him a question, Rob. Sorry.
Yeah.
If Messi had signed for Manchester City, would you have switched from Barcelona to Manchester City?
Hell no.
Hell no. This is a serious Barcelona man.
Can I ask him a question?
Go on, go for it, Rob. Go for it, Rob.
I was
going to ask you a question.
Which team in England do you support?
That's an easy one.
Go on.
Manchester United.
What is it?
Manchester United.
Well, to be fair, I've got respect for you because usually all these older guys, you know that they're just supporting Manchester United for the glory, but you're not even old enough to remember their last league title, so you're almost supporting them out of sympathy.
No, I'm just supporting them because I like them.
You really like them? What do you like about Manchester United?
I like that they're they never give up.
They're giving up quite a lot of late.
I mean, yeah, but also they're really good sportsmen. They never. Although sometimes they do get really, really angry at each other. But
who's your favourite United player?
Oh, that's tough. I have 3, to be fair.
Well, go on. Give us the 3. You can have a top 3.
In third place, probably Greenwood.
Okay, Mason Greenwood. Next, number 2.
Second would be Rashford.
Marcus Rashford. You do love a striker, don't you?
I love strikers. And first, I'm going to leave you guys to guess that.
Okay. Danny Van Beek, you're the new guy. David De Gea? I know he's a bit out of fashion these days.
Nope.
No, we're not.
I'll give you a hint.
Go on, give me a clue.
It's an outfield player.
Oh, that narrows it down a bit. So that's Henderson and David De Gea out of it. Striker, midfielder. Help me out here, Rob. Midfielder. Pogba. Pogba or Fernandes?
Fernandes.
I thought so. We got there in the end.
Very good.
Very good stuff. Right now, Rob, you're under big pressure now because we ask our legends to do this every month. I'm going to get you and Vivan to go head-to-head in a prediction contest with the 3 big upcoming games over the course of the next 72 hours. Spurs, Newcastle, 9 p.m. on Sunday. These are all Singapore times, knock an hour off of Jakarta. City, Leicester is 11:30 Sunday night, 10:30 Jakarta. And Liverpool, Arsenal, make sure you're drinking plenty of coffee for that one. 3 a.m. Singapore time, 2 a.m. Jakarta time on Tuesday. Rob, you are up first. Give me the correct score for Spurs against Newcastle. We know Bale won't play because, unsurprisingly, he's injured, but what's the score going to be?
Well, I'm delighted Bale's not playing. Newcastle had a great result against West Ham, terrible result against Brighton, so I think they'll get another great result when they're playing away from home. So I'm going for a 2-1 Newcastle win.
2-1 to the tune. What say you, young Vivan?
I'd say maybe 2-1 win for Tottenham.
2-1. Oh, diametrically opposed. Youth and experience. Youth and experience. City and Leicester. Manchester City against Leicester. I'll let you go first on this one.
All right, Manchester City versus Leicester. Let's be honest here. Man City, 100%. Yeah.
Well, both teams with 100% records going into this. What's the score going to be?
Ooh, that's quick. That's tricky. I think 2-0.
2-0 to Man City. Oh, low-scoring game for you. We've seen some crazy goal games so far, Rob. I've got a feeling this might be another one. What are you going to say about the score here?
I'm totally agreeing with Ivan. I think it's going to be a Manchester City win, but I'm going to go a bit bigger. I'm going to go 3-0.
3-0. I think he's just disagreeing with you for the sake of it there. Just trying to one-up you. Right, Liverpool, Arsenal. Robbie, you can go first on this one. This is, I think, the game of the season so far because Chelsea messed up the game of the season so far by getting a man sent off before half-time. So this is the game of the season. We're going to be saying that every other week, I know. But it is the game of the season so far. Liverpool, Arsenal. Score, Rob? What are you shaking your head for?
Well, it's not the biggest game of the season.
Well, so far, what's the biggest game? Sorry, do excuse me, Rob. I'll be back in a minute. What's the biggest game of the season then?
Leicester, Man City.
You think Leicester and City's bigger than Arsenal, Liverpool?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm already getting the impression you know too much. Rob,
don't argue with him.
What's the score going to
be? Listen, Arsenal started very, very well, but I think them playing against Liverpool, I can't see them getting a result at all. I think, again, I'm going to go for 4-1 Liverpool.
4-1?
To Liverpool.
To Liverpool. What are you going for?
Although I hate Liverpool, I really want to Arsenal to win, but also I've hated Liverpool ever since that 4-0 defeat to Barcelona, by the way. The thing is that I really want Arsenal to win, but let's be honest, it's Liverpool. Yeah. They won the Champions League 2 years ago. They won the Prem last year.
Yeah.
They've literally been unbeaten throughout the entire season so far.
Yep.
I think it's going to be Liverpool.
Score?
4-0.
4-0. Do you see those beads of sweat running down?
We almost agreed.
Yeah,
there.
I do.
Do you see these beads of sweat running down my forehead?
Yeah.
That's because I think you're going to take my job. I'm bloody terrified, Sam. Right, so we shall see how you get on. And, Rob, I shall be giving young Vivan your phone number, and he's probably, knowing Vivan, he's going to phone you up and rib you mercilessly next Wednesday when he's got all the predictions right.
I can't wait for that.
Would you like to thank legend Rob for joining us? Because we're going to say goodbye to Rob now.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Rob. All the
to
best.
To
Great to have Rob. Do stay safe, Rob, as well with these tough times. Rob Lee, live in Essex, in England, joining us in September's Legends Club show. Now, Vivan, we've got one more bit of business to do before we say goodbye to everyone, all the Legends Club Zoomers who've been on air.
What is it?
We can announce October's legend that's going to join us in the studio again. So can you give me a drum roll? Do me a drum roll.
All right.
So our October legend is... The graphics should come in as if by magic. There you go, David James. Now, ex-Liverpool goalkeeper, very good player, David James.
Oh, my God.
You know David James, right? I know it's Liverpool. I didn't know you were coming on. If I had known of it, you had to book someone from Man United. David James, the former Liverpool and England goalkeeper. He'll be with us in October. You, of course, can become a Legends Club member for just $15 of annual fee and ask him a question. Don't forget to support all our partners who we've mentioned during the show and check out the Legends Club and World Football Legends website for more details. There's a reminder of all the great benefits we've got. So, With that being said, many thanks to all our Legends Club members for their calls. Many thanks, of course, to Rob Lee for his time, and he was very entertaining as well. And most importantly, to you, young Vivian. I think a star is born, so I'm going to leave it to you to look down the barrel of the camera and say goodbye to everyone and thank them for joining us on the Legends Club.
Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for joining us on the Legends Club. See you in October.